Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So for quite some time I wanted to make a video explaining why the QS rankings are too dumb. What did you say? Too dumb? Yes, frankly, they're not too applicable to the bachelors at least. Of course, not to forget the people who are too much obsessed with the rankings. So if you follow along, hit a like, share with your friends and subscribe, because I'm also going over the rankings. The THE and discuss the issues in them, also because these rankings are the most popular rankings. I'll make another video explaining which of these two is better to check a university's reputation. What is QS? QS stands for quarterly assignments, quite a lot of fancy naming. And moving on to the methodology next, the methodology can be a lot misleading. First of all, I would like to go over all the ranking factors. The ratings definitely vary subject to subject, so I'm going over the overall and the computer science rankings. Because apparently, according to the QS research, computer science rankings were the most looked rankings for 2021, so this being the most popular subject. So starting with the research website, which they already have published, called the QS Intelligence, I am going to the computer science. So as you can see in this web page, computer science, so overall it's 40% for academic repetition, which is how well other professors think about research at this university. So there's a professor survey, think about research at this university. The next 30% is what will employers recruit from this place. It's also a QS survey, it's based on yes and no. And usually the most historically reputed universities stay on the top 5 on this employer survey, because obviously everyone is going to hire from MIT and Stanford. And the next 15% is how well cited the professor's research is. Again, it's a big factor on research. And the next 15% is how impactful the research is, which is the meaning of H index. Now here's the catch. These reviews are full of biases, and some of the biases can be like which paper to choose, how big a university is, who are the employers, because some employers might not hire. For example, if Dell says I will not hire from MIT, it's hardly going to make any difference. Then we have the population and the language, because in China or Germany, language differences make a big factor. Apart from these biases, as an undergraduate, you might not be interested in knowing how impactful the research is, or how cited the professors are, or basically how the research reputation of the university is, which is basically adding to 70%, 40 plus 15 plus 15. Now, employer reputation is again based on employer surveys, asking them if they would hire a university graduate from this university. Again, they can ask employers, not specifically directed to top companies where people want to go mostly. For example, if people are interested in fragments, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, Nvidia, Snap, LinkedIn, Uber, Twitter, and not to forget Sephora. Last one obviously being a little bit controversial, as I got it from Reddit. So these are the companies which form very small percentage. And I don't think so. If there's any focus on these companies, where do these companies work? Which definitely makes the employer's reputation again something not really required, because people can again go to LinkedIn. So this video is sponsored by LinkedIn. Is it actually sponsored by LinkedIn? No, of course not. Alright. But LinkedIn is an excellent resource to check where do top companies hire from. Another video on that sometime. So some examples where QS rankings clearly not perform well are the European universities like TU Delft and Bucharest Polytechnic. For example, when I checked on LinkedIn, there are a lot of people from Bucharest Polytechnic who went to Google, Amazon, and top companies in America. Whereas TU Delft has excellent research reputation. So this is what makes TU Delft rankings in top 100, and Bucharest goes back in the thousands. And that's definitely because I'm 100% sure undergraduates don't yet know if they want to be in the research. So Delft is 72 here, and if you look at Polytechnic, Oh my god, Polytechnia is not even in the rankings. How is this even possible? So if you look at these universities, these are not even mentioned in the rankings. And I have another example. For example, you can look up at Brown University. Well, as you can see, it's over 100. But hundreds of people in big tech New York firms hire so many people from this university. This clearly explains that these companies, the big tech firms in New York or the quants, they really don't care about these rankings. All they care about is basically how good a person is at doing their job. So these rankings are solely for telling people how good the university is at research. And if you know any other good universities or popular rankings, please share them in the comments and I will make a video on why and why not you should use those rankings. So finally, concluding everything I just said, just understand that rankings really focus on the research aspect. And if you're someone who is not sure about going into research yet, make sure you do more research about your university. Rankings do give a sense of a university's reputation, but it's not necessarily where highest paying employers hire from. That is why I recommend using LinkedIn. I can also recommend you to read this link. It's called the TU Delta, why TU does well in the ranking. And it will 100% explain you all the research aspects and how citations per paper, H-index and employer reputation, all these things are factored in for Delft, for companies like Google, Amazon on there. And that's all from me today. Alright, have a good day and see you later. And finally, all the links are in the description.